This chapter may contain flashing lights that may cause discomfort. Chapter 14, Heartless. Last thing you remember before the curse takes hold is a promise, like a single familiar star in an endless sky, a beacon to guide you home again. You struggle to keep hold of that spark of hope, even as you burn inside. Kieran. But as the last pangs of immortality curse fade away, the spark is lost in the catacomb of your suddenly, painfully sharp senses. High above, chaos rules the ground as changelings, humans, beasts, fae tear into each other with iron, tooth, and arcane fire. Focus on the Sun Palace Guard. Don't let the beast distract you. Yes, mistress. Die, tyrants! For Eclipse! The swoop of great wings draws your gaze even further to see above. Kieran. Interesting. Kieran slashes bloody ribbons into Jack's hide. Jack bellows in pain, his wings floundering for a brief moment. Good. Kieran seems to have the upper hand. Calmly, you turn your attention back to the immediate surroundings. Longclaw crouches over Radiant's broken, arrow-riddled body, her whole body heaving with hopeless sobs. This is my fault. If I had been faster, you wouldn't have had to... Idiot. Serves him right for letting us getting dragged into this. Will you quit blubbering and help me? Lustry struggles to bandage her bleeding wrist with fabric torn from her dress. Nearby, a band of Eclipse fighters prepare to advance. Forward, now's our chance to finish them off. You should feel scared or sad, but as you look from your wounded allies to the approaching enemies, all you can summon is irritation. Lustry and Oleander are too wounded to fight, Longclaw's too distracted. Useless. It seems I'll have to take care of this myself. A chirping Merlin flits above you nervously, and your gaze snaps to them. Rin, wrong? Nothing is wrong, but you should stay out of my way. Rin. You walk calmly forward to meet the iron-armed Eclipse. This finally rouses Longclaw from a stupor, and she calls out in urgent fear. Hello, what are you doing? Ugh. Snarling Eclipse soldier rushes you, but for the first time in Fae, for the first time in your life, you know no fear. You are not welcome here. You do not even flinch as you turn aside their weapons with your bare hands, iron blades bending and cracking as you toss them to the ground. Huh? What in the world? Behind you, Lustry barks a harsh laugh as Longclaw struggles to bandage her amputated arm. Down a hand and a pint of blood, and still I can weave a curse as well as the ancients. Ella, are you alright? I feel nothing. You stare at your friend, feeling an odd emptiness. None of your myriad emotions in Longclaw's expression are mere inside of you. No fear, no grief. Only purpose. Magic sings in your veins, dances along your spine, pushing at the inside of your skin as if aching to be used. Only one Fae you must want to destroy is nowhere to be seen. Opulence. Where is... Taking advantage of your momentary distraction, an Eclipse fighter lunges forward, slashing at your side with an iron knife. Traitor! The point sizzles as it skates across your ribs, but Garen's work, spun from the moon's source itself, holds fast just enough for you to pull away. What? You tried to hurt me. I will kick him out of my way. You rear back and drive your foot into the soldier's chest, launching him into the group of his fellow soldiers like a cannonball. If you're wise, you will leave while you still can. You cannot win, any of you. You're the prince's consort, but you're mortal. Not anymore. A few soldiers fall back in fear, but Remy comes after you with a whip of vines that crackle with arcane energy. I was gonna go easy on you because you're human, but now magic surges in your veins and the whip seems to come to life and her hand's turning on its owner. She crashes to the ground, helplessly tangled up in the arcanist sparking vines. You're invading my house, threatening my family, and I'm finally powerful enough to do something about it. Power coils and sparks from your hands, disarming your enemies, knocking them out of your way. This would be so much simpler if I could just kill them. But I shouldn't. Why shouldn't I? You can't remember, but it hardly seems to matter. All that matters is the feel of magic singing in your blood, the knowledge that you've just barely begun to explore what you're capable of. How are you doing this? I wish you would just kill her. The question you should be asking is, what else can I do? Shall we both find out? Unfetter yourself and use the full extent of your awe-inspiring power to drive out Eclipse. Closing your eyes, you look inside yourself to the rolling well of power that sparks gold and burns silver, thrashing and eager to be free. So, this is how it feels to be Fae. You open your eyes to a world of glimmering possibilities, every sense bursting with vitality and utter confidence. Swords, spears come to you as if in slow motion, and you take in your enemies' rage-contorted faces with dispassionate indifference. You will not hurt me. No one will ever hurt me again. You've been infused with the power of day and night, hot summer sun and cold winter's moon. You can do everything, anything. Disable them with moon court magic. Black creatures made of shadow form out of the cavernous depths, flying at your enemies with wings and sharp teeth skittering like bats. But these things are far from adorable. What are these things? Shadow creatures wrap themselves around the arms and legs and weapons, dragging them away with their bodies, wrapped at unnatural angles, and snarling their prey with their spines and jaws. You wanted the power of the sources. You march forward, channeling all the frustration you remember feeling, every injustice you endured when you were powerless. I will show you power. Hold them with... fog or forming a wall of thorns. Wall of thorns. Death by 1,000 paper cuts. You touch your toe to the ground and a wild thicket of thorn-covered brambles bursts upward, weaving together to form an impenetrable wall. They hack at the thick vegetation with desperation, only for more growth to burst into life in its place, speeding through time with the power of 1,000 springs and summers. Back, you mongrels! The illustrious struggling to fend off two Eclipse fighters fighting with her hand off while cradling her bloody wrist against her body. Her magic attacks are weak from the blood lost, and they bounce harmlessly from Eclipse's iron shields as the two men toy with her. I suppose I should help. You feel a hint of smug satisfaction as you stride towards the unsuspecting attacker's magic coiling eagerly inside of you. I command the living stone to do my bidding. You throw your hands out brimming with raw power. Moon-chamber guardian of the source, show these trespassers the meaning of pain. The walls of the cavern themselves ripple and swell, reaching out with fluid tendrils to grasp the attacker's arms. Oh, let them go! The tendrils drag them back, screaming, flailing, sinking them half into the wall before turning solid again. I do not want assistance from the likes of you. No, I'm sure you don't. Unfortunately, you do seem to need it. You're a little unarmed. Ha ha ha! I have a better pun. Heedless of her furious griping, you stay at her side as another wave of eclipse bears down on you. What is this lording your new power over a wounded rival? Want to show off how strong you are with that stolen power I granted you? I thought you considered yourself above such behavior. I am glad you finally admit I'm your better. It was a long time coming, but not to worry. As long as you behave yourself, I'll protect you from the mean mortals and their scary iron. Enjoy this while it lasts, Worm, but for this cannot possibly come to any good end. As much as you want to, the victory you expected feels hollow. You feel nothing for her. You cannot even enjoy triumphing over her. Try not to die. I can't stand here all night protecting you. You push forward on your own, herding Jack's fighting forces back towards the half-moon chamber. Fall back. We'll bolster ourselves near the chasm. On the other side, you see more of them about to cross a makeshift rope bridge. Enough. You'll go no further. Yet Jack's lieutenant, the person who hurt you so, still speaks to the quaking troops. Hold fast. Remember what you fight for. How could I forget? You dig deep into the well of power within you and summon a massive surge of magic to finally punish them all. Bring down the night, it's only fitting. A brisk, cold wind caresses your face, blowing back your hair. Black flames dance from your fingertips as Remy tries to marshal her panicking troops. Find Jack. Tell him... Let there be darkness. Shadow slithers from the ceiling in deep, yawning chasm, consuming everything in its path, snuffing out every hint of light until only one spot remains. You are trespassing on the ancient grounds of the Moon Court. The night belongs to us. You are the only one whose eyes can pierce the darkness, so you watch impassively as Eclipse soldiers quake in fear, stumbling about until the darkness itself starts to snatch them up, choking them as if holds them immobilized against the shadowy walls. That's enough. When the shadows finally recede, the remnants of the eclipse lay scattered and capacitated like a forgotten pile of broken toys. Is that all of you? You wait. Above the groans of the wounded, all is silent. No more invaders come down the tunnels. Finally. Without so much as a second glance, you turn your back to the havoc you wrecked and return to what is left of your court in the full moon chamber. Ella, my dear, are you sure you're quite all right? Of course I am. You realize the shadows in Starland are still rolling off of you, and you will them to return to the buzzing hymn beneath your skin. Still, your voice is strangely flat when you speak. See? Longclaw and Lustry are speechless for a long moment, only it appears unconscious, chest weakly rising and falling. You knew you had it in you. Now you know what happens when you get in my way. You look down with disgust at Radiance's pale, lifeless body. We should go. You pick up the source lantern, and remembering how Jack once used the same power, uses it to lift Lustry and Longclaw up at a little hole in the ceiling. Longclaw quickly grabs hold of the dead Radiance and, unconscious, holding it protectively, she floats skyward. You emerge onto a still raging battlefield. Longclaw cries out in despair. Oh no, look what they've done! Oh, they cut the tree down. Your home is mangled, torn. The great tree where Sir Montgomery first told you who Kieran truly was has been snapped in half like kindling. Some part of you knows this should make you weep, but instead you're filled to the brim with an icy cool certainty. This ends now. Off to one side, the magpie is gleefully blasting away with what appears to be a handheld cannon wrought with silver and bone.
Come at me, fools.
Prepare to fire! Gorging. Of course, she is having fun.
Ah, you challenge Leaf. You aim iron at King of Birds. You fear wrath of fiercest warrior in realm.
Not far away, you spot Leaf, viciously attacking an Eclipse soldier with as much ferocity as her much larger subjects.
Out of way, owlbear. Leave some for King.
Good for her. One of the larger changelings grabs hold of Aster, roaring in her face. Monster, prepare to die! Help! You sigh, flick her hand in her direction, sending her attacker flying into a half-broken stone wall. Oh! Papa! Papa shouldn't have brought you to a fight. The changeling dashes off to help their father, and you feel a flicker of something that had been as easy as breathing to you not too long ago. And yet it feels like centuries. Above you, the winged duel between Kieran and Jack's beasts still rages on. Both are bloody, but Jack's energy seems flagging, while Kieran only grows more ferocious. The strange feeling is gone. You shake your head to fully clear it and remind yourself of your purpose. Kieran has things well in hand with Jack. That leaves opulence to me. Glance behind you at wounded Lustry Longclaw, who still cradles her dead brother's lolling head with one paw and tries to tend to unconscious Oleander with the other. You two won't be much use to me. You should probably just stay here.
Ella.
You leave them behind without another word, heading calmly into the fray. Where could opulence be hiding? Physical projectiles, magic spells turn harmless dust as they strike you. You are unbreakable and all-powerful. You cannot hurt me anymore. You feel the power thrumming through you, every step connecting you to the ancestor round the moon core, responding to the source within you. Nothing is beyond my reach now. I see everything. You can sense the streams of magic like gossamer threads flowing through every living thing, through the very air you breathe. The energy that bends to your will. What shall I turn against the enemy? Their weapons. An Eclipse soldier runs at you, spear in hand. You turn your eyes on her. She freezes and tears. The spear in her hands becomes a giant venomous viper. Boo. The soldier shouts, dropping the snake and scrambling away. The air soon fills with dozens of hisses, screams as enemy weapons become vicious predators that turn on their owners. You pass dozens of Fae battling it out with mortals, changelings, as panic begins to spread through the Eclipse ranks. Remy, where's Remy? Help! Remy's gone. Remy isn't coming. Help! Help! Where is that coward opulence? I have a score to... Familiar outline darts in your periphery, and you turn straight into an explosion of blinding sparks, knocking you off balance. Do you like my new invention, little pet? What is that? You are intimately familiar with the gallberries, I know. I simply refined them a little. You try to send the exploding sparks back at her, but Opulence tosses another glass bowl just as your vision begins to recover. The shock of color dances across the moonlight fabric Kieran made for you, popping and sizzling though you remain unhurt. Hey. You might have stolen a few party tricks from the sources, but they are nothing compared to my inventions. You are a pretender, and I am progress. Knocked to your hands and knees, you feel for the arrowhead you salvage from Oleander's ribs within your pocket and wrap your fingers around it like a dagger. I have to wait for the right moment. Let her get closer. As Opulence glows, you feign injury on the ground, keeping your eyes squeezed shut while the bright spots in your vision fade. Oh no! No, don't tell me you don't like my fireworks. I've been refining the formula for decades. Who would have thought mortal chemistry mixed with magic would be so destructive? Oh, that's right, I did. You hear Opulence's footsteps come closer, thoughtlessly straying within reach, overconfident that she has won. Now. I should strike low. You crack your eyelids open, just enough to see Opulence's boot come into view, and the moment she's close enough. You end here. You rear up from the ground, stabbing the arrowhead's iron point in the muscle above her knee with all the strength you can muster. She shrieks, stumbling backwards. One of her incendiary bombs slips from her hand and blows up in her face. What? How? Just another mortal weapon, Opulence. A little less flashy, but it does the trick. Capitalizing on your advantage, you pounce on her, driving her onto the ground. Aim for her heart. Baring your teeth with fury, you take the arrowhead in both hands and lift it above your head and drive it into her chest. No! Opulence catches the arrow's point between her palms at the last second, slicing her hands. You tussle briefly, getting a few more good slashes before Opulence pushes you off and scrambles away. You think that meager weapon could stop me? Maybe not, but I have made my mark. Every breath you take, you will remember me. But I am kind. You won't be breathing much longer. The thrill of the threat sends a rare spark of feeling through your gut, and you let yourself get drunk on it. You are becoming a complication, little mortal. And I hate complications. Opulence backs away, bloody but not slowed, then lobs another glass grenade at you, which bursts into a storm of burning, blinding sparks. Furious and disoriented, you let devastating magic fly in vague direction of Opulence's taunting voice, while ghosts of incendiary flashes fill your eyes. But in all the flashes of light, you cannot see her. I will find you. All of this is your fault, and you will pay. Hey, I think you'll find I'm the merchant, little mortal. There's nothing but ice pumping through your veins. Cold, ruthless intent to destroy the Fae who did this to you in your home. Ella! Ella! Underneath the sounds of explosions, you hear voices pleading. Someone calls your name, but you don't care. You only have one purpose. Opulence, face me. You throw another blast of magic at the chaotic battlefield until it's nothing but haze and smoke and screams all around you. Hold on. You have to hold on, alright? Stay quiet, stay hidden. I know it hurts. Idiot, watch where you're... You blast the sky, the earth, again and again and again, reaching for a feeling. Any feeling, rage, sorrow, justice. But all you feel is nothing. Ella, stop! Your vision turns clear, just enough to make out a familiar dark shape diving towards you from above. What? Kieran scoops you off the ground and flies you above the battlefield. Kieran, what are you doing? I almost had her. Tightens his hold as you struggle, feel frustrated to be taken from your vengeance. Put me down. Opulence won't escape this time. Ella, stop, or you're going to fall. Don't fight me. I'm not your enemy, or you hurt. No, you wouldn't be, would you? The sounds of the battlefield go quiet as you soar higher, and finally you remember that you're supposed to be happy to see your love. Hello, Kieran. Does this mean you defeated Jack? I knocked him from the sky. I believe he still lives, but I did not see where he fell. He deserved it for stealing Longclaw's crown, your crown. I did not think Jack has been defeated, but I at least retrieved the crown of all Fae. As Kieran lifts you high into the air, your vision finally starts to clear, and you can see what devastation you have caused to both the palace gardens, to both sides. Ella, what have you done? The battlefield is a bloody mess of enemies and allies, the ground trampled, torn, and hardly recognizable. You have an inkling you should feel bad about it, shouldn't you? Apparently I hit everything but opulence. Ella. I glance up at Kieran's frowning face, but not understanding the sadness in his eyes. I took out most of the Eclipse fighters. All we have to do is find Opulence and Jack, and then this can be over. Kieran's lips part, but for a moment he seems at a loss for words. Indeed. First, let's regroup with our friends and ensure they're all right. It's then that you spot Opulence darting from beneath some magical shield straight towards the source lantern. Kieran, look out! But your warning comes too late. Opulence opens the lantern and aims a beam of searing golden light directly at you and Kieran. Deflect the light with my own. The power of the sun source flows hot in your veins. You tap into it, channeling it, and let it fly. Your bright, powerful light collides with the concentrated sun source with a cataclysmic explosion that ricochets through your body. Your powers wild, untamed, and the lantern's distilled sun source overpowers at moments, striking Kieran dead on. With a scream of pain, Kieran's wings falter, then fail. The crown drops weakly from his hand, and then you're plummeting to the ground. Though Kieran wraps his wings around you protectively, you're rocked by the impact as the two of you skid across the torn lawn, your skull rattling you to confusion. You leg gasping, awash with pain as you feel your scrapes heal painfully slow. Then you crawl to Kieran and brush a hand over his bloodied face. He winces, eyelids fluttering open. Good. I should like it if you died. Ella, are you... He falters, pulling up your wrist with awe as a bloody gash rapidly closes, healing even faster than Kieran's own injuries. What's wrong? But he shakes his head. The crown. Where did it fall? Where is Opulence? Healed, but still half stunned, you struggle to your feet and look around, only to see a severely injured Jack limping towards Opulence. Give me the lantern and the crown quickly. The plan. In your emotionless, dispassionate state, you see the turning of Opulence's thoughts, and you know what is about to happen even before she opens her mouth. No, I think not. As a matter of fact, I have a better plan. While Jack watches, slack-jawed in horror, Opulence slots the crown into the top of the lantern and holds it aloft. It is complete. No, Jack, you must stop her. But it's too late. A hurricane of gold and silver light erupts from the lantern, growing larger and larger, consuming you and everything you see until it fills the entire world. Finally! A fierce, terrible maelstrom swirls out of the lantern, and you and Kieran only can cling to each other as the wind whips endlessly until finally it subsides. No, it's not possible. Kieran, what's wrong?
You can't do this. You can't. This can't be. How dare you? How dare?
She's taken all the matter. The magpie tears at the grass with her claw-like hands. Nearby, Lustry lets out a piercing animal howl of pure rage.
No, 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 no!
All around you, the surviving Fae are weeping, crying out, even laughing hysterically. You look at Kieran in confusion, and then you realize the deep, cold well of power that you've always felt emanating in Kieran's aura is gone. Opulence took your magic. Opulence has taken every Fae's magic. This was Opulence's plan all along, all the months she was working with Jack. Also, it seems like you're back to normal.
Oh, this has been decades in the making, darling. My entire lifetime has been leading to this moment.
You're the tale of the Merchant of Magic, a favored child of impossible wealth. How she climbed over all others in her lust for status, including a brash changeling boy. This is a tale of a child born into wealth, privilege, named for what her parents valued most. Raised in a family full of cunning, cleverness, their endless wealth sourced with an orchard of trees that grew leaves of pure emerald. Opulence wanted for nothing. Opulence proved a genius when it came to business and manipulation from the beginning, traits which were lauded and nurtured into adulthood. She was the greatest heir of the house of plenty had ever seen. Opulence valued every interaction, every relationship, by how it might benefit her. She did not have true friends, only allies and business partners. When Opulence came of age, she joined the Sun Court, the obvious choice as the Moon Court was already well in decline. Her wealth and superficial charm made it easy to rise to the top of the social hierarchy, but social influence could only take her so far, and it was not far enough. Even with her wealth and connections, Opulence was still from a merchant family, not a royal one. She wanted the type of power held only by the head of the courts. Anything less was beneath her. There was only one way to become part of the royal family. Opulence approached several monarchs and heirs, Radiance, Lustry, even Kieran, but she was disappointed to find them resistant to her very business-like form of courtship. Still, she was nothing if not tenacious. She kept trying in the hopes that someday one of them, most likely the sole heir of the dying Moon Court, would realize they needed her and her vast resources. Then, opportunity fell into her lap from a most unlikely place. After Eclipse's first attack in the mountain pass, Opulence sought out their mysterious leader through contacts outside of Fae. Though Jack hated all Fae on principle, even he could not resist the logic of Opulence's proposal. She would help Jack tear down the courts from the inside, provided Jack would guarantee her a title in the new regime to follow. Jack, knowing his iron sword and army ragtag morals with their improvised weapons could only go so far alone, promised that it would be so. But as his blood was but half Fae, Opulence knew that Jack could lie, and that his promise was always a hollow one. Opulence was certain that Jack would betray her the moment she was no longer useful to him. She would expect nothing less, for it was what she would have done too. So, she would just have to betray him first. So, like an idiot. Okay, got it.
This is story number 9.
Looks like there's at least one more to go. If you liked Opulence's story. This isn't what we agreed, Opulence. Jack moves furiously towards her, but she freezes him in place before he can even draw his sword. Silly child. I never intended to follow through with our so-called agreement. In fact, I never agreed to any such plan. You read what you wished into the promises I did make. You of all people should know better than making deals with the Fae. What's your aim here, Opulence? Why would I destroy the sources when I could simply take them all for myself? A much stronger position. And more sustainable, too. Magically amplifying her voice, Opulence beams radiantly and addresses the scores of distraught Fae. Listen closely, everyone. I now have exclusive access to the sources of all magic. Any Fae who wishes to regain their immortality or to wield magic at all must immediately come to Emerald Park and swear fealty to me. All around you, Fae and part Fae from both sides struggle to their feet, bleeding from wounds that are no longer healing, and begin limping away. Where are all of you going?
Off to bend the knee to our newest overlord, of course. Every second in the body without magic is tedium and torment.
You see a cluster of Sun Court Fae beginning to climb out of the colossal hole that the battle left in your garden wall, following the magpie to Opulence's estate. Asked her, "You'd abandon your queen?" "We'll see you later, Ella. I'm sure." "You most certainly will not." "You say that now, Karen, but I have heard tell of what you will do when you're desperate. I look forward to seeing it in person." You're about to run at her when you catch sight of a pale oleander following the tide of the traitorous Fae. They have one hand pressed to their side where their wound bleeds freely through a hasty bandage. "Oleander, you can't be serious." "I only do what I have to do." "You'd betray Karen, your court. You'd choose that snake over us? I thought I knew you, coward." Oleander hardly even flinches as they march off. It seems you do not know me at all. Opulence smirks, watching the whole display with not so quiet satisfaction.
It's always so painful to discover you don't know your customer.
She looks down at the frozen Jack and his fallen troops, some moaning on the ground or clawing their way up from the catacombs, while many others lay eerily still.
Do what you wish with your enemy, Karen. He has served his purpose.
With that, Opulence vanishes in an iridescent shimmer of light. You watch the last of the Fae go, fists clenched at your side in frustration. Look at them. So terrified to be powerless, they will swear themselves to the tyrant who stole their power from them. The moment they must live the way countless mortals do, they go begging on their knees to be restored. And lays a heavy hand on your arm, bleeding freely from the wounds inflicted by Jack, wounds that now will heal at a mortal pace, if ever. It's true. Perhaps you are most courageous of us all, Ella, for choosing to live amongst us, immortal among gods. There's a pained, faraway look on his face you can't fully understand. Ella, look at me.
What is it?
He gazes at you for a long moment, brows drawn together. Your eyes are... How do you feel?
Karen, what do you mean?
The curse, do you... Karen frowns, bringing one hand up to cradle your cheek. You stare at him. Do you feel... anything?
I'm angry at Opulence, what she's done to our home. I want revenge.
And that is all?
What else is there?
Grief fills his features. His gaze drops, and then suddenly, Karen surges forward to kiss you. The touch of his lips to yours isn't unwelcome, but it stirs nothing within you, either. Suddenly becomes hesitant, and then breaks away. And now?
I don't know.
I see. He falls silent. Soon, only a smattering of people remain inside the smoking remains of the Moon Palace grounds. That is when the spell Opulence cast on Jack wears off. He stares numbly at the spot where Opulence disappeared. Harsh cackle splits the still smoky airs. Lustry stares into the sky with a rictus grin.
Congratulations, you've won! The mean old fake courts are now gone. Now there's only a tyrant in charge. None of us have magic, even you.
Yep, short-sightedness. Jack says nothing. Horrified, stricken, he staggers backwards, stumbling into Lustry and knocking her over.
Hey!
Something glittering falls from Lustry's pocket, and Jack's eyes snap into sudden focus. Quick as a flash, Jack snatches the object from the ground. The magpie's crystal is still glowing. Really? We're still gonna do this, dude?
Boss?
Jack ignores Remy, his eyes bright with desperate purpose as he grabs a Sun Guard's abandoned horse by its reins and leaps onto its back. He reaches down to pull one of the Eclipse fighters onto the horse with him as he flies past you. Then he takes off and dead gallop through the forest. Enraged, you dash after him. Where do you think you're going? In your rage, you instinctively throw out your hand, hurling a ball of fire after him. A fireball smashes a nearby tree and the cinders, missing Jack by a hair. Get back here. Oh, she's back to normal. Okay, got her. Ella. What? Your powers are still intact, even though all of ours are gone. It's true. You can no longer feel happiness, but in this place is a grim satisfaction, a powerful urge for retribution surging through your blood. Then it's time to make him pay. Okay, alright, whatever. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description. Plenty of links and things to check out, ways to support, and who's a what's it. Also ways to become a part of the community. That being said, I mean, I'm I hate cliffhangers, right? But I feel like this chapter was decently paced, though Opulence's whole, like, ta-da, just seemed a little hastened in the chaos of everything, but things like that do happen, so I guess I just have to swallow and accept it. Aside from that, let me know in the comment section below down your thoughts. What do you think will happen? You know, um, I'm surprised. I thought Ella maybe, since she no longer had magic, right? Or so we assume for a quick second, that maybe the curse was broken, right? Because you need the curse needs to meet its requirements in order for the curse to still be a thing, but you still have power. So I guess in a way you kept all of your power while she has the two orbs to control, and yeah, your power is limited, but probably without the two orbs and the crown, clearly, she might be bestable, right? I'm just really surprised that, here we were like super Fae, right? And we couldn't beat a regular Fae. I mean, I guess, I don't know. And then our blind rage of just destroying everything around us. I don't know. Anyway, catch y'all later. Peace out.